and now Talia and Luke.
Alright, I'm not going to speak for too long because I'm very aware of time, and I guess for me and probably for Luke, we're both still very early in our journeys because we are quite young. So I came to Newcastle nearly 3 years ago after having lived on the Central Coast for my whole life. So it was quite an experience coming to Newcastle. And I was 17 and just beginning a Bachelor of Social Work. So I've been here nearly 3 years and I'm now doing social work arts. And I guess for me, most of my experience at the university in way of queer life has been with the Queer Collective. My first day in O Week, I got involved in NUSA and have been involved ever since. I was first year representative in my first year. I was co-queer convener last year, and this year I'm the convener of NUSA. So kind of always been doing something there and always been involved in collective. And it took me a few weeks to go to my first meeting. I remember I had a friend who was on campus as well, and I was like, come with me, come with me, come with me. And our classes never aligned, and so she was never there. Every week I would get to NUSA and I would walk away. And then I think it was probably about the third week I was like, no, I'm going to go and I can do this. And I have no idea why I was so terrified because everyone was just so amazing and so welcoming. But I think it was a big step for me having come from the Central Coast where only my close friends knew that I was queer. I had gone to a Catholic girls' school and, you know, I had always sort of just kept that very personal. So for me it was something really big to go into a room full of people and to be like, I'm queer, hi. So it was a very big step for me. But over that year, my understanding of queer identities and queerness and my politics and my ethics really developed and really grew and strengthened. And in a lot of my classes, you know, every time something would be said, I'd be the one who would bring the queer perspective, or I'd be the one who would refute something that somebody had said that was queerphobic. And I remember quite a lot of those discussions when I did sociology and in social work because we did a gay and lesbian unit. And so everyone would be like, hey Talia, what about this? Or Talia, what about this? And I remember we watched a program on the preschools in Sydney that wanted to have the Rainbow Coffee House books. And I was sitting up the back of the classroom almost in tears, like with anger at the horrible things I was hearing. And afterwards one of my friends was just like, you're all right. And I was like, not really, but it's all right because I know that I can do better than that. And it was a very good, interesting year for me, and I really learnt a lot. And I think a lot of the people who I was around really helped to facilitate that. And not only that, like I learned a lot of amazing skills through my involvement with the Queer Collective. We ran some amazing events. I met people all throughout the state and the country through conferences, and you know, they're friendships that I still have now, and you know, I'm still utilising those connections and those channels in everything that I do. So I'm just going to read this paragraph because I really like it. Being involved in the Queer Collective has been both one of the most amazing experiences I've had thus far and one of the hardest. I've found time and time again that the broader student body are quite disengaged from everything outside of their studies, and that's for a number of reasons, but it's very frustrating. There are so many queers on campus. You see them everywhere and hear about them, yet, you know, regularly we have, you know, 5 to 20 people involved in Queer Collective events. You know, when I know that there are hundreds on campus. I found it really hard being involved in trying to engage queer students and the broader student body in the events and things that we run. And at times that's really disempowering, knowing that you've put so much time and energy into an event. You've basically just ruined like your schoolwork because you haven't done any of it. And then you get 3 or 4 people turn up, and it's really frustrating for that period of time, but I keep going, and those people around me do as well. We just keep persisting because each time, you know, each poster we put up, each event we have, there'll be 1 or 2 people on campus who will see that, who will go, there's a Queer Collective on campus, maybe I can go there if I need to. Or somebody who doesn't identify as queer being like, that's really cool. Or even if it's somebody who's so confronted that it just makes them think about it more. Like, I know that, yeah, it does have an impact, and it's slow and it's long, but gradually it is changing. can't remember what else I was going to say. Yeah, so that was kind of like a bad and a good thing. And the other thing, and this is something that I've experienced a lot this year, I think for me, my first year of being involved in the collective was just so amazing. And I think that was because I was still really coming out in so many ways. And then my second year got a little more frustrating because I was one of the co-conveners, so I kind of went from being like an active participant to like convening and directing a lot more of what was happening, so I had a different role. And then this year I've kind of gone back to the active participant, but it has been a largely newer group of people. And I guess I've seen collective change a lot, and the interests and the direction of the group become very different, and that's only been in a 3-year period. And for a very, very, very long time, it was very hard for me to deal with that because I had in my head what it had been and what it should be. And so it's been a really interesting process trying to change that idea in my head and to be open to the different needs and wants of all the people who are involved and trying to satisfy all of those in one way or another. So I guess that's a little bit about my experience and where I'm at.
And I guess the exhibition symbolises a breakthrough as well. So like the recognition of the struggles that past students and staff have faced, and to afford us what we have today. And while there's still some way to go, the exhibition showcases all the achievements and the determination of past students and staff, and how this can lead us into the future. Yeah, so that's basically like all I have to say, and congratulations on a great exhibition.
Well, thank you.